We all live in the yellow submarine. The yellow submarine.
Oh, man.
You wasn't expecting that one.
I was not. Wow.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, y'all. This is the Southside of Wakanda podcast, the best podcast in the multiverse. I am Jack Dawson's ghost.
And I am a Black Russian.
I text my friend, Quaisha, friend of the show, that name. And I was like, is this insensitive? But I had picked this name at like the beginning of this whole Titanic debacle. So I was already laughing. And I was just, now I feel like everybody been caught up to me being an asshole.
I love it.
But like
I hope no one just saw me try and kill a fruit fly on this camera.
Oh yeah,
I forgot
y'all.
That we're recording.
We recorded video now. We got better cameras. So make sure you go to YouTube and watch us and see Shani killing fruit flies. The whole episode.
It just might be because these things are like the bane of my existence.
Man.
And the object of all my affections. I was just watching Bridgerton for the past like 3 weeks.
It's sad that I know exactly where that quote was from. I think all the girls did.
Yeah. Okay, but keep going with your intro, girl.
Oh, I was gonna go on a whole tangent about the Titanic thing, but let me finish introducing the podcast first. So
yes,
this is a podcast for casual fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. On this show, we discuss the Marvel live-action TV shows and the Disney PLus show movies, the movies and the DVDs.
The DVDs, the movies and these nuts.
And oh my god. We discuss all that shit without the context of the comic books because you do not have to have read the source material in order to understand movies because that's not how that shit works. So, if you're like us, welcome. If you're not like us but you don't gatekeep fiction, also welcome.
Hello.
Happy Juneteenth, y'all. Guess what? Your favorite bitches is back.
We back, baby.
We back.
And guess what? The hiatus is over.
The hiatus is over. New episodes every motherfucking week. Hopefully. I'm gonna add that sound in so y'all can celebrate with us. So, on today's episode, we're gonna be talking about a lot, but the main point of the episode today is Jessica Jones season 2. We're gonna be talking about episodes 1 through 4, as well as the first episode of Secret Invasion. Is that the right one? I always confuse it. I always call it Secret Wars on accident.
I know, yeah. Secret Invasion. We right.
But yeah, so I have a lot of news stories.
Let's get into
film
it.
and television genre is in shambles right now. So many shambles. Where do you want to start? I have DC's The Flash up first. We could start there.
Oh, yeah.
So, The Flash released last Friday, June 16th. I saw it last month.
3 months ago. I really feel like that was like a really long time ago that you saw that movie. So
it was.
Like, dang, it's just now coming out.
And you know what? We were supposed to restart the podcast like 2 weeks ago. It didn't happen because Shanique came out here and, you know, it was a whole lot going on. Mm-hmm. But I was disappointed because I wanted to brag on the podcast like weeks ago that I saw the movie first for free.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
she really is that girl, y'all.
Man, I really can't even take all the credit. Technically, they emailed Prince and told him about the screening, and then we ran over there and saw it.
Who did? Who is they?
Warner Brothers. Right?
I think we was texting about this. Like, let us find out that Prince is secretly like the influencer.
Low key, he the plug. Low key. This not even the first one. Like I know. Got invited to Birds of Prey. We went and saw Creed, like on like the little premiere night. So I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's find out that Prince is actually like that nigga.
Right. He listening to this podcast just cheesing to himself right now. I know he
like
is.
Right. Shout out to you, Prince.
So we went to see it. The theater was packed. Obviously, like some people like were lined up. We were in like the overflow because, you know, people had to work. So we couldn't just camp out all day. But we barely got in. We were standing in line and they were like, oh, y'all can get on this email list and maybe we'll get you next time. And so the guy in front of us tangent. So we all standing in line. In the email, it say first come, first serve. These two guys in front of us thought that they were just going to go and buy their popcorn and they pop and just be ready, right? But it was not guaranteed. Prince was like, should I go do that? And I was like, no, you should wait. And so they were pissed when they found out that they was not finna get into the movie. And I could tell he was finna go full Karen. Like, I need the manager. Like, I want to return on my snacks and shit because I didn't get to see the movie. And so, thankfully, they were standing there fucking complaining. Then this man runs out of the theater and he was like, you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He like kind of like 5 more people. Y'all want to see the movie? And we was like, yeah. And so
obviously, were you like in the very front, like having to look up? Like
we both watched the whole movie like this. So when people
we too old for that.
Man, I only said it because like, well, we already had the babysitter and I had already been standing there in heels.
And your wedges.
Yeah. I had on my whole outfit because I was like, I don't get outside, so I'm gonna have to be a hoe at the show. Whatever.
Right. It is what it is. We've all been there before.
White toes and all. I was there.
Whole white.
White toes. So we saw the movie, and when people were like initially complaining, because that is the main complaint, is that the CGI looks terrible in some spots. We didn't notice too much because we was watching a movie like this.
That is so funny.
Yeah, but when
so, like small tangent from that, because I told you that I went to like dinner with my friend Charisma and our listener Carl. Hey Carl. Hey Charisma. So I was like, we had a random conversation about like seats in the theater, and I was like, I need to be on the left. I'm like, I'm too old to be in the middle. I have to use the bathroom, especially from when I was pregnant. Like, I need to be like on the left side. And I think Carl or Charisma had both said like, yeah, we need to be like somewhere on the left side, top left, like not too far in the middle, because I'm definitely gonna have to use the bathroom. Yeah, because I like to. I'm always thirsty, but then I like don't know my point of when to stop. And then it's like just Prince. Like
he always got to pee in the show.
Yes,
he probably mad at me because I always pick the season. I always pick the middle.
Yeah, see, no, I can't do it. And then it's funny because like allegedly for Oppenheimer, like the ideal seats are like right in the middle. It's like Chris Nolan's an idiot, not an idiot, a genius, not an idiot, but like the way that. There's just some post that I saw that was like the way that he created things is like the optimal seats. It's like a cross. And then it's like right in the middle is like the best.
Is that going to be like IMAX or is that just any
For IMAX. IMAX. And I was just like, well, I'm just not going to have the optimum viewing experience because Lil Mama got to be on the side. Because I'm going to want a drink or a lemonade or something, and I'm going to have to use the bathroom, and I'm going to have to watch the movie again when it comes out because I definitely missed something.
I feel like that's kind of unfair and a little stupid though. So I feel like you was right when you call him an idiot because we already have to go out of the house and pay all of this money for the seats and pay all this money for the snacks. Yeah, and so you mean to tell me like. You making movies so that the people
like
in the middle
20 people
right like why are we doing that? Come on. And then they wonder why we not going to the fucking show. Exactly. Y'all, it's because of y'all.
Exactly. Y'all got enough money to like just buy the tickets. Samuel Jackson said he does that.
Does he? Oh.
So that he can give tickets away. He buys tickets to his own movies. He said he's seen every single movie that he's been in.
That's dope.
And he'll go to the movie. He's like, because when you go to premieres, everybody's just like there to give you accolades. They're like, oh my God, I loved it. But you go to the real movie theater, people done paid their own money to go see it. That's when you're going to get the real. And he was just like, yeah. And then people be like, what the fuck was he thinking?
He's so funny.
It was on that British show with the colorful orange and purple all over the place. Something Graham, maybe? I don't know. It's a British talk show.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I think I do. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to The Flash.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, long story short, the movie fucking bombed. It cost $220 million to make it, but the worldwide gross for the entire opening weekend is $139 million. Worldwide. 139, yes. So they did not even break even, and the gag is they made $4 million less than Black Adam.
Yo, losing a Black Adam gotta hurt.
Yeah, I did not confirm if that number was just like Black Adam's entire theatrical run or if it was just opening weekend. So I don't know that, but the tweet that I read definitely said that, and so I think a lot of things contributed to this. First of all, Ezra Miller's drama really affected, number one, how people are thinking about this movie, because you do have a lot of people who are actively protesting going to the show to see it. Most of those people are saying, I'm going to just wait until it hits streaming and so I can watch it because I'm already paying for that platform anyway, which is what I was going to do and what we are still doing. I saw it at the premiere, but I didn't pay no money. Right. And Prince was thinking about going to see it, but that's in another one of my points. So I'll circle back to that. So because of that, there's a protest, and then that also really affected the promotion of the movie too, because he was not a part of any of the promotion. Actually, I don't even remember seeing any like interviews and stuff from anybody else that was in the movie. So I feel like a lot of people probably didn't even really realize it was coming out this weekend unless they had like been a super fan and they were following it this whole time. Right. So that's one thing. Another thing is oversaturation. It's a lot of shit to go see at the movies right now. Like a lot. And so people are like,
and some of it is actually good.
Man, I wrote down, just to let y'all know, like, what's outside of Guardians of the Galaxy. So within like the past 3 weeks, so the end of May, early June, we've had The Little Mermaid that came out on the 26th. Fast X came out on the 19th. Then that Blackberry movie came out on May 12th. It's 3 other movies that from May that I didn't even write down. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was June 2nd. That's still in the show. The Boogeyman is a Stephen King horror movie. That's still in the show, also June 2nd. Then you had Transformers Rise of the Beast. That was June 9th. And then you have The Flash and The Blackening opening on the same night.
There are so many movies that I want to see, but the thing is,
so much.
I do not have the expendable time that I used to have.
The time or the fucking money, y'all.
Or the money.
It's expensive to go to the show. The show is
not, yeah. And honestly, this is the most movies that came out in the show that I've wanted to see in a really long time. But it's just like, I'm just going to have to wait. Like, I want to see Across the Spider-Verse.
That was really good.
I know it's really good.
Yeah.
But I just like, when am I supposed to see it?
Yeah.
You know, like, when am I supposed to do that? And then I really want to see Little Mermaid. I really want to see The Blackening, because specifically, like, with that movie, I just want to support, like, that black ass movie.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't want it to bomb, because I don't, not like it's just dependent solely on me, but I don't want it to bomb. So it's like, I want to go and support that movie, but I just don't have the time, don't have the money.
And especially people with like small kids and families, like, you either have to find a babysitter or pay them extra money to bring your whole family with you, and you cannot do that every fucking weekend.
And I have a 5-month-old baby. I am not bringing him to the movies. I am not going to be that person. I am not going to be that person.
And then with everything that you just listed, so say you want to see The Little Mermaid, Across the Spider-Verse, The Blackening, and just if you wanted to see The Flash.
That's like 8 hours.
That's 4 movies within the past 4 weeks. What else are you supposed to do on the weekend?
Exactly.
You can't go to the show every fucking weekend. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's too much.
And I already don't have enough time to get things done when I am working after work. So on my weekends, I am trying to get things done.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that people should speak more to outside of like the whole oversaturation of the superhero genre. It's just a lot of movies out right now in general.
And they don't need to all be in a theater.
No.
Please, y'all, please, for the love of God, go back to releasing stuff just on HBO or just on freaking Netflix. Like,
I really
you already got the money.
Outside of the Netflix and the password sharing, because fuck them forever for that. I really do appreciate that they take the time to like release good movies. Like, I think They Clone Tyrone. I really want to see that. I think that comes out next month.
That movie looks ridiculous.
It looks so crazy. And then Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth. That came out this past weekend, I think. I could just watch that at home. Because I do watch a lot of movies and a lot of TV. But I'm not leaving my house to do that.
They Clone Tyrone reminds me of Sorry to Bother You.
I love that stupid ass movie.
I know. Didn't we watch it together for the first time?
I don't think
at your old house.
Oh yeah,
with Prince. Yes.
So did. I remember he made me watch it. He made you watch it too.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it does look like that. So okay.
Yeah, that movie looks super silly and fun.
So on top of the oversaturation, it's a lot of bad reviews about the CGI, which the director has come out. Okay, so the parts that they're talking about, a lot of the movie is in CGI, first of all, because it's about fucking superheroes in a city that doesn't really exist in real life.
Exactly.
But when he's running and doing his flash thing, the CGI does look bad. But the director said he did that on purpose because if he was running really, really fast, like at the speed of fucking light or faster than the speed of light, fast enough to time travel, things would look weird to him. It would look a little blurry. And that makes sense, but I guess people don't want that shit.
No, they're like, no, he actually needs to be running at the speed of light. I need to know that it's
everything needs to be in 4K Ultra HD and the fucking eyeballs.
Whole time, like, I feel like Game of Thrones just ruined people.
Yeah.
Because they was like, dragons really exist.
Them dragons look good as fuck, too.
Them dragons look so damn good. So now they just like, okay, well, if he traveling at the speed of light, then nigga make it look like he traveling at the speed of light, you know?
Yeah. Was I not recording this whole time? I pressed it. I think
you did. I heard it.
Okay, well.
Dang.
Anyway. So, you know, that happens when you're trying out new technology for the first time.
Exactly. You know, you guys, we've been on a hiatus for over 6 months.
Yeah. But at least I didn't try to take my experiments 15,000 feet underwater.
Hey.
At least we know that. You know? Still winning.
Brittany, you didn't take an Xbox controller to the center of the earth?
No, not. I did not. They might as well have taken a notebook and some pen and like a crisscross apple. That's what they could have did.
Do you know? I believe. Okay, this is my conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. This is obviously probably not true because these are people that are dying, but they're, Darwinism. Anyway,
yeah.
I think it's an insurance scam.
Ooh.
I think it's an insurance scam.
I didn't think about the whole Bailey Sarian of it all.
Yes, because like y'all are all billionaires and y'all were smart enough to become billionaires, but y'all weren't smart enough to not go to the center of the freaking ocean with like just a $45 controller. Like it looks ridiculous.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing that people, and I know that we know this, but I think President 45, his presidency should have been a lesson to all of us because everybody that voted for him assumed that just because he had a lot of money that he was smart and that he understood like common sense and, logic. So clearly those things have no correlation.
No.
He's just so the stupid.
Face. And it's honestly just like how he was president. He just got a lot of smart people working for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know. It just all sounds so far-fetched.
It's so unreal.
It sounds... You wanted to pay more money than a freaking Titanic ticket probably costed in the first place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Even with inflation.
You want to pay even more money than that to go see the wreckage? Not even through a hole or a window. You want to see it through a TV screen when you could have just sat in your mansion and seen that way anyway.
My thing is, the billionaire, I'm not the billionaire, the owner dude, he should have been a scammer. Let me cook. Hold on. Because like you just said, they not looking through no fucking windows. They looking on a screen. Mm-hmm. He could have just had some stuff pre-recorded and they could have just sunk down a few inches.
Yes.
How would they have known?
They would not have known.
Nobody would have known. He could have just cashed
out. How would
out.
they know? They're never going to know.
Exactly. He could have cashed out and said, yeah, you sure did go down and see the Titanic. You sure did. Congratulations. He would have been rich and alive.
And now y'all asses is dead.
Man.
I'm pretty sure, what did they say? Because it was like I saw like a graphic of it. And it's like the Empire State Building inverted. Mm-hmm. Is still like an eighth of the way down. They're like 5 New York's, what is it called? Empire State Buildings down.
Did they even make it though? Because I feel like they didn't make it. I feel like they probably got to a certain point and then that bitch just caved in.
That probably did happen. Honestly, if I gotta sign a waiver that I might die, not doing it.
Not doing
Honestly, it. Even though I wake up every day like, do I even want to continue doing this? I'm still not doing some shit that I gotta sign a waiver that I might die.
Absolutely.
That got real dark.
It did.
But everybody relates. Adulting is hard.
Facts.
But one thing I'm never gonna do is sign a waiver of something saying that I might fucking die.
Yeah.
And I am nowhere close to being a billionaire, and I know that.
There are no words.
This was quite the tangent.
Sorrows, prayers.
Sorrows and prayers.
But yeah,
sorry to that man. Honestly, it's sad because people's lives are in danger. But like I said, Darwinism. Because why were you?
I'm sad for
down
that
there anyway.
The young boy. I'm sad for the 19-year-old, the son that's on there, and I'm sad for his mama, kind of. But for the most part, all y'all.
Oh, I didn't know the ages and stuff. That's sad.
Yeah, I think the one guy, like the billionaire who brought his son was like 19, I think. So that's unfortunate that your stupid ass daddy killed you that early.
If I was his mom, when I died, I'm not resting until I find you. And then I'm going to haunt you. Even though we both dead, I'm still haunting you. Like,
he's being held to the bottom of the ocean by all our ancestors and Jack Dawson. That's why I'm Jack Dawson Ghost today. Jack Dawson said, oh, my poor ass had to die on this fucking ship. And here comes some billionaires. Yeah, you finna drown, ho. That's what's finna happen.
People are saying that they're inside of the Titanic, and that's probably why. Because not the ancestors, but the people's ghost is holding them there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Them people... Anyway, moving on before I say anything even more insensitive.
Yeah, let's not get canceled. I keep hearing people like, I watched the podcast and you be talking so crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not well. I don't think I've ever told y'all that I was 100% sane. So, real life Brittany cannot be held liable for any of the things that podcast Brittany said.
You know how when you wake up and you mad that your dream, like your man in your dream was acting up? It's two different people.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was Patricia.
Exactly.
So basically, that movie tanked. I feel like a lot of people did not go see The Flash because they have no idea what direction the DCEU is going in, which is the thing that keeps the Marvel fans coming to the show. Like, say what you want about the people that constantly complain, they at least know that they have to see this movie in order to understand
what's going on. So they gonna stay their asses in the show.
And I know, like, Marvel is like present day having an issue with, the content not being like new fan ready or casual fan friendly. Mm-hmm. But DC is starting off that way, because I saw a video and I really related to this after seeing the movie, and we've been talking about this for 25 minutes, but I'm gonna wrap it up. So the guy in the movie said that he went to see The Flash because that's his job. I guess he's like a movie person, whatever. And he took his 2 friends with him who are not comic book people. They are not superhero movie people. Like, they are super casual. And he said one of them fell asleep about 1/3 of the way. And the other one was just like, I don't get it. Now, I'm more so a Marvel fan, but I am a superhero genre nerd. So a lot of the cameos that popped up in the movie, a lot of the references, I knew them, even though I've not read any of those comics. So I knew them enough to be excited and be like, oh, like, this is cool. Mm-hmm. And so that's not a lot of people, though. Like, if you went, there are certain things that you would just be like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
there's one part, I think this is in the trailers. I don't know. Also, Prince told me he watched the trailers afterwards, and he said the trailer spoiled a lot of the movie.
Wow.
But there's a part in there where he's like, he ran back in time, and he's seeing like all these different, like, it was kind of like a multiversal type of thing. And he was seeing all these different versions of people. And so one shot was Nicolas Cage in the Superman costume. And now I'm a movie nerd, so I understand that. I think Tim Burton was supposed to do a Superman movie, and he wanted Nick Cage to do it. And they went through all, like, he had a suit and everything, but the movie just didn't get made. Right. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool reference. Who else would know that?
Yeah, that would have went over my head.
Yeah. And you would have been like, oh, I like Nick Cage, but this is weird. Like, why? Right. You know?
Yeah.
So that's their issue. So I don't know. The Blue Beetle and Aquaman are next up for like the DC stuff. I think Blue Beetle is supposed to be like one of the newer movies under like the James Gunn thing. And then Aquaman is supposed to come out, I think, at the end of this year. Jason Momoa is still allegedly Aquaman with the whole rebrand of DC, but
they said, who else gonna play him
at this point? So maybe those movies will do better, but I don't know.
Not holding out hope.
Not at all. They just need to correct everything that they did wrong with the rollout of this movie. Scratch
it all and just start all over.
Again, sorrows, prayers. Okay, so did you see the first look at Kraven the Hunter?
What?
Oh. So
I was like, I thought I had heard of that, but no, what?
You probably just forgot. So you know how Sony is doing all the like the Spider-Man villain movies. Mm-hmm. Kraven the Hunter is a Spider-Man villain, and Aaron Taylor Johnson is going to be Kraven the Hunter.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Our victim. You know, the one who was groomed and married like a 50-year-old white lady. Fine ass. Quicksilver.
Oh, yeah.
So they released a 3-minute long trailer and a poster. You got to go look at the poster. He was born in
1990?
That's a baby. And his wife married him. She met him when he was like 16 and just sunk her little teeth into him.
Oh, poor guy.
It's so sad. She like 80. I don't know how fucking old she is. She old as shit. She old enough to be his mama older sister.
You said you want me to look at the... Oh.
Right? Aren't you so excited for this movie?
Oh my God.
So, yeah. Yeah. Very much that. Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Right.
Okay. I'm just having such impure thoughts right now. I'm going to just stop victimizing that man more than he already has been, allegedly.
Man.
Now, it's not alleged. It's obviously happened.
It's very much confirmed, and it's very sad. But the movie, from the poster, it looks like it's going to be Oscar worthy. Phenomenal. No notes.
Not just from the poster. It's honestly, okay, have you seen the poster, like the OG poster of Ned Stark sitting on the Iron Throne?
No.
Okay, you should look that up. But it's like, because he just has like this swagger. Obviously not like this, but he just has like this swagger. But then it's also given like Khal Drogo and like, or like Vin Diesel in Pitch Black type of vibe type of thing. I don't know, but this is,
you know, the girls
I
are
need
ready.
a little Monica in my life. Okay.
Well, the girls are excited, as you can tell. And
Yes.
The Red Band trailer was 3 minutes long, as I said. I watched about a minute of it because I felt like I was seeing the whole entire movie, and I just stopped.
Like, let's stop doing that.
Yeah, can't we? Why? Like, 3 minutes is a long trailer. I really want to.
Some say too long.
Yeah, I feel like a hot 60 seconds is enough, especially if you give me the poster, you showing me who's in it. Russell Crowe is in it. I'm excited about that. But other than that, like, I didn't need that much information. But it looks good. Allegedly, there is like a Spider-Man tease or connection in the trailer. I did not watch it long enough to see that. But yeah, in my opinion, from looking at the 60 seconds of the trailer, it looks like it's gonna be a fine villain movie.
Just fine. I'm okay with just fine.
It's just fine. I feel like it's gonna be better than Venom 2 and of course Morbius. If it does well, maybe it'll be better than the first Venom. But it still gives me like Sony villain movie, and without.
I need Sony to hang it up. Who is still investing in this stuff?
I don't know. Like, just put Spider-Man. Just put Andrew Parker in there and give me a whole movie. That's all. Just do it. That's what we want.
Oh my God, that's an OG reference.
It is. But listen, if you put out Kraven the Hunter and this Venom movie, and then you tell me that the next movie, the sequel, Andrew Parker is going to be in it, or it's going to be a Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Kraven the Hunter in it, I'm set. I'm in the seat.
Right.
You don't even have to show me a trailer. I'll give you my money. Like, but y'all not doing that for whatever reason. So, I don't know. We're going to see, though.
I mean, depending on what other movies are coming out that month, I might go and see that.
Yeah. Well, it's coming out in October, and October is probably going to be booked. But, you know.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy as usual. Okay, let's take a break.
Okay.
All right, and we're back. So,
and we're off to the races.
we already talked about Across the Spider-Verse. I saw it. It was fucking amazing.
I heard it's so good. I just like...
It is.
I really need to go.
It's so good.
Last week, me and my boyfriend called out because we just wasn't feeling it. We just needed a mental health day. Mm-hmm. And my nieces offered to watch the baby just so that we could have like some alone time and stuff like that. And we was just feeling so lazy.
Man, the couch be feeling really good, don't it?
And girl, we sat on the couch.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the fuck we did.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That's exactly what the hell we did. Sat on that couch.
It is a long movie,
potatoes.
though. So that was not like let's just go and do a cute little... No, that movie's long.
Yeah.
So I was surprised that my kids made it through. Yara had to sit next to Prince because she's the one... Even with The Little Mermaid, after about 40 minutes, she was like, okay, so what we doing next?
Exactly. She's over it.
Yeah. I didn't want to take them. I just wanted to go see it ourselves. But, you know, finding a babysitter.
Because it's not really like a kid's movie. Like, it's a cartoon.
I mean, it is. But it's definitely one of those kids' movies that you can enjoy.
But not like yo kids movie. It's like maybe Farrah.
Farrah definitely. Yara, no.
But not Yara.
No.
Like, she too young.
Yeah. For anybody listening, she's 4.
Right.
So.
She's just looking at the pretty pictures at that point. Like,
yeah.
I don't think she's really catching on to
the
actual plot.
None of it mattered to her. She'll catch the plot after like her 20th time watching it. Kind of catch the plot. But so yeah, the movie has made $384 million globally.
So more than
way more. Way more. And
honestly, like this Spider-Verse series, I feel like that is carrying Sony.
Oh, for sure.
And people always want to throw these movies in when we're talking about Sony. Like, nah, babes, we're talking about live action.
Yeah,
they're doing a piss poor job.
Spider-Man in general is saving their ass. Spider-Man and the fact that they are not wasting their money on a streaming service that nobody needs. Like Sony, quiet as it's kept, is kind of like the Rihanna of the industry. Okay, when you really think about it, it makes sense. You play to your strengths, and you do what you need to do, and get the check, and you keep it cute, baby. Get the check and leave. Because
one thing we not looking for is the vocals.
No, and I feel like Rihanna kind of know that. She like, yes, I could give you a little hun, but the makeup and the draws are selling out, and they're paying the bills, and I want to be with my kids and my man, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Like Navy, as a member of the Navy, I get it. We want an album, we want a tour, we want videos, we want all the things. But as a mom, absolutely not.
I just feel like, never mind. You know what? That's a story for another podcast. Okay.
But yeah, so I think Sony is smart. They're going to do the things. They're going to put out these blockbuster Spider-Man projects. Yeah, we'll work with Disney and get a little bag off the MCU. And we're not going to do it like a streaming service. Because everybody is going bankrupt doing the stream. Speaking of bankrupts and streaming services, I just found out, I think that was this morning, that now Warner Brothers Discovery is thinking about licensing out HBO content to streaming services like Netflix. And everybody's just like, oh, you did that dumbass shit and y'all running out of money. That has to be what this is. Because why will I be able to watch Insecure on Netflix? And that's an HBO show. Y'all are fucking stupid.
No, hold on. Hold the fucking phone. Mm-hmm. I do not pay $17 a month for HBO. I'm sorry, Max. I don't pay $17 a month for fucking Max for it to be on Netflix with the fucking pores.
Yeah.
No.
With those pavos. No.
Not with the pavos. Not with the pavos, okay?
Yep.
It is a part of my personality now that I pay for HBO and I primarily watch HBO content. So what y'all not about to do?
It was the best streaming service.
Send me to the streets. Y'all not about to send me to the streets.
Why? When nothing was wrong with HBO Max. Nothing was wrong.
It was not broke. It was actually they had just fixed it.
Yeah.
Because it used to be broke.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember when it was HBO Now, HBO Max,
HBO Go. It was so many of them.
It was way too much. They finally got their shit together.
Yep.
Finally, literally. Oh my God. So glad we back in the house with the podcast, because can we talk about, you probably don't know nothing about this. We went from House of the Dragon to White Lotus to fucking The Last of Us to fucking Succession. They was dropping bar after bar after bar after bar. And then they gonna be like, oh yeah, we're Max tomorrow.
Yeah, and you have to read
that wasn't me, that was Max.
Right. And the app still don't fucking work on my TV or my kids' TV.
Really?
Yeah. So if I want to watch anything, actually I have not even watched anything on Max, because the TV that I used to watch it on in my bedroom, the app, we cannot get it to work. It won't sign in.
See, that's what happened.
Yeah.
When they became HBO Now Next Go.
Right. So I don't know. I wanted to cancel everything after they did that.
I remember when they were first talking about it like last year, and we were like, who asked for that?
Nobody.
And they were making it seem like, oh, only men like the fandom things, and only women like HGTV. Bitch, fuck
Quiet
you.
As it's kept, y'all market research, whatever the fuck told you that was wrong, because I feel
very
like
much.
It's the women that's watching these shows. Our men are on the video game. They're playing the game, and they get into them TV show episodes when the fuck they feel like it.
Guess what? Guess in this household, who paid for HBO? Shani.
I think I pay for our HBO too. I can't remember.
I pay for HBO. Mm-hmm. I'm the one that's constantly rewatching Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. I'm the one, out of all of those 4 shows, Marcel watched House of the Dragon and The Last of Us with me. Who was watching White Lotus? Mm-hmm. Who was watching Succession? Like, their research was very wrong.
Very stupid.
Who's re-listening to the entire A Song of Ice and Fire series because she's dead inside. Because I miss Westeros.
Yeah.
The girl. So their research was wrong and sexist, which is amazing to do both at the same time in 2023.
And that's what the fuck they get. I don't feel bad for them at all. Y'all should have just left shit alone. You should have just y'all should have used the same app, and y'all should have just kept stuff the way that it was. It was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So oh well.
And did you know that the Max part is Cinemax?
I thought it was.
The only thing I know about Cinemax is that's how people used to watch softcore porn and when we were kids. Yeah. And it's like, why would you drop the HBO part for something that used to be called Skinemax?
Yeah. Like,
whose idea was that?
They need to be fired.
Whose idea was that? That is like such a
in the words of Beyonce, somebody getting fired.
You about to lose your job.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. Speaking of people that's probably about to let go of their job, Blade got delayed again. The release date now is February 24th, 2025.
Mahershala Ali is gonna quit.
Yeah, I don't blame him at this point, and
it's just been too much.
I think the whole issue with this, and I think like after me and Prince left one movie theater, oh, there's my camera battery.
I was just about to say, what was that?
My camera battery died. So anyway, moving on swiftly and professionally. So it got delayed, and then me and Prince were talking about this, and I was like, I miss the days when
we didn't get any.
We didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. Because if it gets to the point where Mahershala Ali says, I don't want to be associated with this project anymore, I won't be upset with him because that is a very reasonable reaction. Mm-hmm. But I will be very crushed because I kind of got attached to the idea of him being Blade because I felt like was great casting. But all of us, like, we should not be in the writer's room. We should not be a part of the project. No, we should not be casting people. We should not know about the movie titles. Like, even with them,
I don't need to know anything.
We don't need to know nothing.
Just tell me when it's coming out.
Especially, I think, like, the lesson here with that whole Jonathan Majors thing, which we'll get to him. We would not, like, if y'all wouldn't have told us, like, oh, Kang is going to be like the big bad for the next couple movies and Avengers Kang Dynasty, had y'all just shut the fuck up, y'all could have just went ahead and recast him and we would not know. We would not be like, oh, that really was going to be something. We wouldn't know anything. Like when we used to didn't know shit in the beginning of the Infinity Saga. Those were the good old days because we went in blind with everything.
Yes.
And I don't understand how they don't know
that. I went into Infinity War not knowing my soul was about to get crushed.
Yes.
Love that for me.
Yes.
Like, we didn't need to know, honestly. And I feel like it started with the fact that we knew that there was a Spider-Man movie coming out after Endgame. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, so Spider-Man comes back. Thanks. Yep. We didn't need to know that. And that was like the tip of the iceberg. And now...
Yes, you're right.
So many Titanic jokes. Sorry. But...
I didn't even think about that.
Not joke, but references. But yeah, like, we just don't need to know everything.
No.
Y'all don't need to tell us. Y'all could just be like, hey, next month, here's a trailer.
Or like, if y'all have to do something, because I understand like the Comic-Cons and the D23s, like, I get that. Mm-hmm. But just like announce 12 months worth of projects and leave it at that.
Yeah, because they were announcing, I mean, now who knows how much stuff is going to get pushed back, because that movie alone is gotten pushed back so many times. Mm-hmm. So it's like we know stuff up until like 2026, 7, something like that. So it's just like we didn't need to know that. No. I cannot even think that far in advance right now.
2025 don't even sound like a real thing.
It's not real. Blade Runner 2025.
Like it just stop telling me this stuff. And then
who knows, the Earth might not even be around then.
Literally, that's what I was finna say. Like,
so let's just
I don't want to be
6 months to a year at a time.
I don't want to be in a car crash and I'm pinned and I'm like, I really hope they get me out of here so I can live to see Blade. Come on.
I really want to see Kang Dynasty.
Right. I don't even get to know how it ends. Like, come on.
That's literally why I have, it's like a part of the source of my anxiety. 1, I'm like, I just need to make it home to my baby. Mm-hmm. 2, I'm like, I just need to stay alive long enough to see how the MCU ends.
I swear. It's hard enough for me, like, having bought Beyonce tickets in February, knowing that I can't see that bitch until August. That was hard enough. Y'all... Please, 8 months at a time. It's enough. Please. Please stop. Speaking of Comic-Con.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
It's crazy that we are 40-something minutes into this podcast.
We have not even started talking about the shows that we're supposed to be talking about.
And I still got a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to wrap this up real fast. Promise. Okay. This broke yesterday.
Keep my mouth closed.
It's been a crazy week as far as, like, news goes. And, like, before I say this, I keep saying, I'm going to make it quick, then another tangent. But somebody, when they were talking about the whole Titanic shit, they were like, this stuff is getting weirder and weirder. Like, what is happening? And you know what? It's because of the writer's strike. I think somebody is off the rail. Like, ChatGPT is writing reality right now. Because why?
Out of all the things that could have came out your mouth.
It's making sense though, ain't it?
It does. It makes so much sense.
Nothing makes any sense right now. Like,
oh my goodness. It's the last season of Pretty Little Liars up in this bitch.
Man. Nothing makes sense. Like,
oh man.
I can't make sense of anything. But anyway, Marvel is skipping Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con this year. They're fucking skipping it. It's a rumor that's saying Universal and HBO are also expected to skip Comic-Con. That's happening next month. This is all happening because there is a Screen Actors Guild strike that's probably gonna fucking happen. Now,
isn't it already happening?
No, the writers are on strike, but the actors are about to be on strike too. Because they have a contract. I forget. I didn't write all the details, y'all. I'm sorry. There is a great article on Variety magazine that you can read that breaks it all down. But there is a contract that they have. It expires on June 30th. They are still in negotiations. And if that shit is not hammered out by next Friday, every actor in Hollywood is going on strike. Now,
well, I guess I can. It'll give me a chance to catch up on some movies.
Yeah. At least nothing else will be happening. But okay, so that's why Marvel and, like, you know, Universal and stuff, they're pulling out of San Diego Comic-Con because that's when they present all of this shit. And, you know, they always have the actors present with them. The actors will not show up if they're on strike. So in order to save face, probably they're just like, we just gonna go ahead and cancel that shit. Now, D23, you know, Disney's Comic-Con thing, that's in September. That's September 8th through the 10th. So maybe it'll be sorted out by then. But if not, I'm wondering if they're going to cancel that shit too. But we don't know. So this is going to affect us Marvel fans because reportedly, you know, Loki season 2 is coming out in October. The trailer was supposed to drop at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if that's still going to happen. I think they're going to have still, like, some presence there. We don't know what it's going to look like now, though. We don't know. They might still drop it on Twitter. We don't know. Also, this is going to, like, if the actors do go on strike, this is going to affect movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer because they will not be doing press. Right. So we saw what happened with The Flash because Ezra and them wasn't doing no press.
I just don't like that name on him anymore.
That's why I call your baby Thor. So it could be, I don't know, like, I know a lot of people want to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer already regardless, so I feel like the people who knew they were going to go see it, of course they're still going to go and see it.
Right.
But it's sad, like, a lot of the interviews and stuff that we normally get, like the late night talk shows, that stuff is not happening because the writers are on strike and then the actors are going to be on strike. So...
Dang, it's a bleak time in Hollywood right now.
It really is. That's what I'm saying, like, everything, it's in shambles. Everything is falling apart. So that's happening. Then my final story, so we can go ahead and talk about Jessica Jones. Jonathan Majors appeared in court yesterday for the first time
with
Megan Good, Queen of the Pick-Me-Sha ass looking, just standing there holding hands. And everybody on the internet is like, bitch, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's barely your man.
Barely.
I could see if that was your husband. I could see if...
Like, she stopped being in a relationship with a pastor, reverend, whoever.
I just
for
need...
a man that allegedly puts his hands on women.
If Megan Good's cousins is listening to this podcast, y'all need to go get that bitch and have an intervention. What are you doing? I'm not...
The dick can't be that good.
I'm saying... I was finna just say, like, I understand if the dick is bomb and you're just doing what you gotta do. If it's a PR relationship, you doing it for a check, maybe.
I don't know which is better. Because honestly, you're Megan Good.
Right.
You are literally like the pedestal. Like, you are our generation's Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And you holding hands. Well, maybe our generation's Halle Berry is Halle Berry.
I don't know.
But in a close second is a Megan Good.
She's not nobody, though. That's the thing. She's not a nobody. You're not somebody who needs this. Like, I don't even think Lori Harvey would be doing this shit. So what are you doing, you old ass bitch? You should know better. Come on.
She is low-key old.
She old enough to know fucking better. You're not a 24-year-old that's just like, oh, well, he's hot and I'm just doing this for a check. Like, if it was that, I would get it.
Yeah.
If it was like Carisha or somebody, like a young city girl, she only 20-something, she just having a good time.
But you hot off a divorce.
Girl.
After your good girl image over the past 10 years.
Like, you're a movie star. She was just in the second Shazam movie. Like, what are you doing? And I can see even, it's just the court appearance. If we just take away everything else, why are you showing up to court with him?
Yeah,
for
you don't
what?
need to be there.
You don't need to be there. I could see if it would have made more sense to me if he would have showed up to court by himself, and then like it's the paparazzi see you at his house later on that night.
Yeah,
I get it. Why are you going to court? That's weird. But anyway, it wasn't even like a real trial or hearing or anything. Like, he just went to go get his next court date, which is August 3rd or something like that. So,
which means she really didn't have to be there.
Exactly. It's just really was just like, y'all really are pushing this. If it's a PR,
they trying to make fetch happen.
Y'all need to get another PR agent because that was stupid for both of y'all. And then, did you see what the fuck he had on?
No, I saw the video, but I was looking at her outfit and I was like, wow, she's not in leggings, because I feel like she every single time she's like in a picture with him, she in some leggings and like a t-shirt and a cap
at the Red Lobster. Like, look, we're so normal.
Like, girl, I don't even go to Red Lobster. Like, let's not.
I don't know.
But what did he have on? Did he have on one of them like newspaper boy hats?
He might as well. Everybody who listening to the podcast, please pause and go look at what the fuck he had on. I feel like he wore a very similar looking suit to the Creed 3 premiere. And I remember when I was sitting in the movie theater watching Straw Hat Goofy talk to him, I was like, why this outfit? This man looked like every time somebody present him with a nice, normal suit, he says, oh, that's cool. And he takes it off the hanger and he goes in bed under the covers and he just fucking fights the suit. Him in the suit is boxing under the cover. Do you see that shit? Do you see it? Why do it look like him in the suit was been fighting for 40 days and 40 nights?
No, he looked like he in like he's in court, but in like the 60s. Like, he's playing a role or something.
And he wore the suit to work, and then he had to walk to the train station and then take a 2-hour train ride and then walk from the train station to the courthouse. That's what the fuck that suit looked like. And I don't understand why you would do that. Look at somebody like Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion. When they had to go to court, the outfits, the hair, the nail, everything was put together. You know we gonna talk about your court appearance outfit. You already guilty as fuck. You could have at least looked good. Hello?
His browns don't even match.
Girl, you make too much money. You could have at least went to Men's Warehouse. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I am appalled.
Yeah.
And then here go Megan ass.
Ugh. Girl. Fix it. Somebody please fix it. But yeah.
Literally chat GPT, because this was not on my bingo card for this year.
Yeah. It's so ghetto. Life is so ghetto right now. I don't even know what to say. But yeah, here we are 50-something minutes in. We supposed to be talking about Jessica Jones.
Let's talk about our girl.
All right. Well, season 2 is where we are, where we've been. Season 1. Oh, speaking of ChatGPT, I told ChatGPT to summarize the first season for me.
The entire first? Oh, okay. The first season. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So ChatGPT says, in the first season of Netflix Marvel series, Jessica Jones, former superhero turned private investigator Jessica Jones, is haunted by her past encounter with the mind-controlling killer Kilgrave. When a young woman named Hope Schlottman seeks Jessica's help, claiming to be under Kilgrave's control, Jessica is pulled into a dangerous game. As she investigates Kilgrave's actions, she teams up with her best friend Trish and her neighbor Malcolm. Along the way, Jessica uncovers the extent of Kilgrave's power and his history of victimizing others. Determined to seek justice and confront her own demons, Jessica faces off against Kilgrave's in a thrilling climax, ultimately incapacitating him. She killed him. I don't know.
Incapacitate him.
Yeah, he's dead. So
she snapped his neck.
Right.
Sure, incapacitated.
Through her though victorious, Jessica realizes her battle to protect the innocent is far from over. She begins to rebuild her life, knowing that there are other killers out there. And then, of course, she was in the Defenders. So since her involvement with them, she has pretty much learned that there are other superpowered people in New York. There are other villains at work, bigger threats. They took down the Hand. She begrudgingly worked with them, and, she had a hand in saving the city. So that was good for her. But after that...
That show was so self-contained.
It really was. I
feel like it really only pertains to Daredevil. And
Iron Fist.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, like... Jessica and Luke, they
did what they had to do and they got up out of that jam, and I respect it.
I respect it too, but it's just crazy that there's absolutely no mention of those encounters whatsoever.
Yeah, that was just a weird 2 weeks of her life, and she just moved on.
Yeah, I guess so. We've all been there.
Yeah. So since then, she is back on her bullshit, being a private eye, keeping to herself, and dealing with the fallout of season 1. So season 2, like you said, it really does not bring up anything that happened in the Defenders.
Mm-mm.
I can't even remember in the Defenders, did anybody know that Jessica or any of them was involved in saving New York? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, I can't remember. They sure don't fucking act like it. Starting off episode 1, they just like, oh my God, that's the girl that be killing people.
Exactly.
And she I killed one fucking person.
You.
Wow.
Exactly. And then it's is it even considered killing people if you kill one person and that person abused you?
I don't feel like that don't count. I feel like it cancel each other out.
And I feel like there were well enough people to say, yeah, that dude had the ability to mind control people, to be like, okay, yeah, that was a threat that needed to be taken out.
It's just real crazy how you can have somebody like Captain America who just kills everybody, and then you have Jessica Jones who's just a regular bitch mostly, and she kills one dude, and now all of New York is afraid of her. Can y'all
Everybody loses their mind,
right? Can y'all please be for real for 2 seconds?
Yeah. And they're acting like she's just this huge threat.
Man,
I was like, y'all didn't even know she was there the whole time.
Speaking of a tangent, I saw this TikTok. I tagged you in it, but for y'all who didn't see it, I saw this TikTok, and it was a guy talking about who would win, the Joker or Captain America. And we was like,
I didn't see that.
You didn't see me tag you? Oh, man. In the comments, they pretty much tore that person to shreds. They was like, if you have not seen any Captain America in the MCU, he be kicking motherfuckers' throat
Chest
off.
yeah.
He kicked your head clean off your shoulders and
then bounce the shield off your body.
Man, he's killing everybody that he fights. It's no blood because it's Disney, but all of the people are dead.
They're dead. They're
or paralyzed from the neck down.
He's definitely a mass murderer.
Yeah, he got some great branding.
He just fine as hell, so we don't really pay attention to it.
PR team working overtime. They all need a raise. Oh, okay, so back to Jessica. So basically, yeah, that's what's happening. She's trying to get some sense of normalcy after all of that happened, and her best buddy Trish, restless as usual, trying to get her to look into her past.
Literally Captain Save-A-Ho times a million.
So these 4 episodes, I feel like by the end, I kind of like, and I've seen this season before. It's just been a while, but I really feel like I learned so much more about Trish. Because in the first season, like, she was not a flat character, but these 4 episodes explain so much about her. Like
1000%.
We learned that because we already knew that her mom was like a terrible momager.
She's a momager.
Yeah, and she
hold on. It was something that I heard on a TV show before. It was a momster, something like that, like a manager mom monster.
Oh wow. Yeah,
it was funny.
All of those things. That's definitely her ass. So she's made her child a movie star or a TV show star and took advantage of her.
She's basically like a Disney star. She's Lindsay Lohan.
Yes. And then she got sexually abused by an old ass, what was he supposed to be, a director? When she was like 16, 17.
I think she was 15.
Yeah.
She said she was almost 16.
Yeah, she was very much a minor. Like, not to be confused at all. Very much a kid.
Yeah.
And then she ends up having, like, drug abuse problems and going to rehab and doing all of that stuff. And she's constantly fighting for her autonomy. And I think that's a big thing. Like, I'm skipping around. But, you know, she's constantly trying to help Jessica and, like, be her own person, be her own, like, she's constantly trying to have her own worth, like, sense of self-worth and usefulness outside of her star power.
As well as her own power.
Yeah, because I think, like, that whole celebrity thing, like, I think she don't really give a fuck about that because it's not really her thing. Like, that was her mom. And, like, all the adults made her do that. And so she does it for a check. Like, she do her show to have a day job. But she really want to do the shit that Jessica can do. And, like, I think even in the first season, we saw that she was the one that was really encouraging Jessica, like, well, what's going to be your name?
Superhero.
And here go your costume. And you should be doing this and that.
And I think she's been abused and taken advantage of so much that she's just like, if I had a superpower, nobody would do this to me.
Exactly. And that's why she tried to do, like, the whole boxing shit. And she turned her house into a panic room. Yes, a panic room, because, like, she was never protected by her mom, and I feel like now she overcompensates to protect herself in any way she can, and she still just feels inadequate, which, I mean, we see that happen in, like, a lot of these superhero TV shows, like, especially The Boys season 2. I know you didn't see that one, but there was, like,
Marcel was just like, okay, so now that you're not pregnant, can we rewatch it? And I was like, we can try. But when I was pregnant, I could not stomach that show.
You should try. I'm not going to tell you too much, but you know that Starlight dates Jack Quaid's, Dennis Quaid's son. So at one point, you didn't know that was Dennis Quaid's baby? Him and Meg Ryan.
I did not.
Meg Ryan, his mama.
So that cute little Nepo baby?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
So there's part of their storyline is just like her being this super badass bitch and him feeling like a little emasculated by it. And I feel like the same thing is happening with Jessica and Trish, because she's just like, my best friend could do any fucking thing and I'm just regular. So what I was saying.
And she obviously knows that Jessica has been through a lot, so she's just like, I wish I could protect you in some type of way,
yes,
but I also cannot.
Yes.
Because Jessica's like literally the only person that cares about her outside of her being able to make money.
Exactly.
Like on a genuine level, she cares about her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's just like, I can't even keep her safe.
Yeah. So that is a big part of it. And then what was I going to say? So like they're constantly trying to protect each other, and obviously Jessica can protect Trish in different ways. And so one of the ways she tried to keep Trish in the fucking house was to like call the paparazzi on her.
That was so funny.
It was funny, but then like when she talked to her about it later, I felt bad because she said something. I wrote it down. Where is it? She said, I haven't had any privacy since I was 12 when my mother sold it. I don't need you selling it again just so you can bench me. And I feel like just the more the show goes on, the more interesting she becomes. Mm-hmm. Because that when you think about it that way, she's fighting for any type of autonomy, and it probably hurt doubly because Jessica is the one who's always on her side, but then she double crossed her in that way.
And then one thing that I did, because I don't really have that many notes, but one thing that I did think about with Trish was in the last episode when she knew that Simpson had been taking something, because obviously his crazy ass popped back up. Mm-hmm. And she knew that he was taking something to kind of put him in beast mode. And she had it in her hand and she was just like, okay, I'm going to take it. And I just know because we have learned now that she has like substance abuse issues. It's like, damn, Trish, is this going to become an issue for you? Like, I can just already see, like, it looks like she was looking at it and contemplating, like, my friend needs me, and I know that if I take this, I can be of some use to her. But if I take this, I might get addicted to it, type of thing. And I was just like, damn, girl, why you always trying to be super save-a-hoe?
Them substance abuse problems, and, like, we already see she kind of has, like, an addictive personality already. Just, I think it's also shown in ways that we might not have known to look for prior to this season, because even with her like the kickboxing and shit, like I'm gonna be kickboxing and I'm gonna figure out how to be the best fucking kickboxing bitch ever. And then like with the panic room, like I want my house to be safe. Any other person would have probably just got a gun and an extra lock.
She built a whole safe. Is I was listening to this podcast, and it was not a serious podcast at all, but they did say something interesting. They were like, people who have addictive personalities, they like whatever it is that they're into, they're going like zero, they're going to 100. You know what I mean? Like if it was somebody that used to be an addict and they're now like into going to the gym, they're not just a casual gym goer. They are now like going hard. So it's just like they just kind of trade one addiction for another. And it's actually kind of interesting now that you mention it, like the things that they're talking about in this season. It seems like a lot of like recovering addicts because Jessica, in a way, but definitely Trish and Malcolm are 100% recovering addicts. And we see, like, literally what I was just saying, like, Malcolm isn't an addict anymore, but you see, he cannot sit still.
No.
If he is in Jessica's house, he is fixing something. And when he's not doing that, he's fucking somebody, because he just, like, what did I put? I think I put idle hands are a woman's sorry. I said idle hands are a devil's playground, which means you'll diddle yourself or someone else.
Wow. That's good. Write that down.
Right. So yeah, like he cannot sit still. And that's because he has like, and he's a recovering addict, and he's just like, he needs to be all in on something. He can't just be chill with it.
And of all the recovering addicts, he's the only one who is self-aware enough to know that, because he actually told Jessica that, told like, her, I can't just be here and not doing shit. So either you gonna acknowledge me and give me a job and something to do, or I'm gonna go get a job somewhere else. It's the same thing. Like, yeah, that's definitely Trish. Like, she knows that she can help and be of service, but that's not, she don't want to just be like, okay, just let me know what you need from me. She doesn't want to do that. She want to just
to be boots
take
on the
over.
ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm right there on the front lines with you, because this is what I'm living for right now.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Especially like, after seeing that stuff. Like, after the first season, like, She was actually under mind control from Kilgrave. I would have been like, I'm actually okay. I'm
going to let you handle that, girl.
Yes.
Y'all have fun with that.
Thoughts and prayers. Let me know.
Sorrows.
If you need to call me and vent, do that.
If you need a safe house, you know where to find me.
Exactly.
But I am definitely not about to be right next to you. Like, you know what? I did it. I did the whole superhero thing, the sidekick thing. It didn't work out for me. So I'm going to just... me.
Yeah. Okay, let's take our break.
Okay.
So we left off talking about Trish. Let's talk about, what's the name? Jerry Hogarth. My, have the mighty fallen. Yes. Oh my God. So she was getting sued by Pam, because remember in the last season, then she cut her up or something happened. Kilgrave made her, did she make Pam cut up Jerry?
Yes.
Yeah. So she was in drama, and then the ex-wife ended up getting killed. I don't blame her for just saying, actually, I'm just gonna leave.
Right.
And then she sued that bitch too. And I was like, go off, mistress.
No, for real, because it's honestly something that usually happens, like, to men.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of refreshing that it's been a pivot, and this is like it's female on female.
Yeah. She said, I know that bitch got some money, and you gonna pay for my pain and suffering. And I'm not mad at her at all. Mm-hmm. Do what you gotta do. So she's suing her. Jerry's life is in shambles. She's suing. She's getting sued. Then she settled. Then her little business partners, they wanted to get her out just off the strength of the suing. Mm-hmm. And then now, because
they found out that she has ALS.
Yeah, they really like, oh, even better, get your ass out of here.
You know what's so crazy is I feel like there's like this trope in just in movies and TV shows, and we saw this even in The Defenders, where it's like this powerful woman, and then she just has to be humbled. Like, they just have to humble her in some way.
They humbled the fuck out of Jerry ass.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. Ooh. It's just like either her husband has to leave, her kids don't like her, or she gets sick. And I feel like it's just like, how come there can't be a powerful woman that just lives happily ever after? But Jerry is a terrible person. But at the same time, how come a woman can't be both?
And she's had so many like instances where she could have been redeemed. I think she was kind of redeemed with the whole Danny Rand situation.
True.
But she was still very much in that for the money. Mm-hmm. Like, if he was not rich, she wouldn't have done it. She was like, oh baby, I am so sorry, but I also cannot help you. Bye.
Exactly. I getting hookers and whatnot. Again, something that men usually do. So it's refreshing, I guess, in a way, to see that it's a woman.
I wonder if they did that because she's a lesbian. Like, I wonder if a straight woman would have just been like, find me some fine ass escort dudes.
No,
probably not.
But I don't think that women, even a lesbian woman, would do that.
Probably not. I don't know though, because like, if you probably gonna die in a terrible way, do it matter if you had AIDS?
I wouldn't want to know.
I'm just saying, like, at the point that she's at, she's like, I have a death sentence. So caution is out the window. Like, you don't care no more. Like, I don't have to preserve the health of my coochie if the coochie not finna be working in 8 months anyway.
But she's so rich. She could get, like, better hookers. Like, yeah, literally, a
streetwalker is wild.
Yay!
it definitely
like meatpacking district level.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not finna just suddenly start going for bottom shelf liquor.
No,
just because I'm dying. You right.
Top shelf still
very much. Now the cocaine. Yep.
She wasn't even. Brittany. She was not getting escorts. She was getting straight ass prostitutes.
Hookers. Yeah.
Like, it's a difference.
And she was indiscriminate with them prostitutes too. Like, all shapes, sizes. whatever. If you got teeth or not, come on, it don't even matter.
And they was so tacky looking. I was just like, Jerry. And I think that was done purposefully.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, wow, yeah.
She doesn't care about anything anymore.
She went from wrap dresses to...
Them Donna Karen wrap dresses was doing their thing.
Right, exactly. Now I'm like, oh, Lord, po baby.
Yeah. I feel like I would have definitely done some drastic things if I would have gotten a diagnosis like that. Because that is crazy. And I feel like, wait, I think I wrote this in my notes somewhere, like, Jerry probably feel like them dudes in that damn sub.
Just like, oh, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You're literally just looking at your death.
Yeah. Like, and it's nothing that you could do about it. Yeah. Nothing at all. And it's sad, like, she was online just buying random fucking drugs in another language. She don't know if it's going to help or not.
It was petrobarbitol. I looked it up. It's for, like, your nervous system.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think it was the name of that.
She is such a asshole that it's just like, damn.
Death like, I can't even.
I'm not shedding no tears for her, but at the same time, like, that is so scary.
And she's like, it was because she said her dad had brain cancer. And she was just like, she had to watch him die for like 2 years, and she was just like, that was lucky. She's like, I'm supposed to be dead in 8 years. Like, I couldn't imagine living time. Like, obviously you live with the knowledge knowing that you're gonna die, but like, to give me that timeline, absolutely not.
And it's wild that the life that she led made it so, like, that timeline, it didn't even sound like, because anybody else, like, for me or you, God forbid, no, I'm not even going to say me or you, some normal woman with a family and kids, if you say, like, yeah, you have this terminal illness, but you have 8 years, I'm assuming after that initial shock and heartbreak, eventually you will be like, okay, well, I have 8 more years to at least be able to see my kids and be able to be with my man. Even after, like, maybe 4 years, I won't be able to move or do much. But maybe that will still help them in some way. But she don't have any of that. So that's just like a fucking tomb to her. Like, it means nothing, to the point where she would rather keep her job. She is fighting to continue to clock in. That's
Can't
wild.
Relate. Can't relate. I'd be like, you know what? I'm filing disability.
Man, I would be like, oh, well, since y'all found out, how about y'all buy me out? And I'm finna go to another country. I'm finna see all the countries, actually. I'm finna spend... She did say she was gonna spend every penny. And I fucking agree with that. Right on. But...
As a single person, yes.
Yeah.
But, like... Now I'm like, okay, let me just put away a little nest egg. Yeah. But also gonna spend every penny of my own.
Oh, for sure. If I was her, if I didn't have no man and no kids or nothing, I would definitely find me a bad bitch to just go to every country with me. Every single one.
And I'm sure it would not be hard for her to do.
No, absolutely not. I would be enjoying myself. I would be doing every drug. I would probably be a crackhead. I would be high on crack in Bali having a great time.
They probably don't even have crack. They have something that's like more natural than crack, but like gives you a way better high.
Crack-A.
Crack-A.
Okay, so.
You know, now that we're talking about it, it seems like all of these people have one thing in common. They are fighting for control of their life.
And they have none.
They have absolutely no control.
Especially this dude, Chang. He's fighting so hard to the point where Jerry just told him, give it up.
Yeah.
The other PI guy. So,
yeah, I was like, his name ain't Chang. That was racist, but his name is Chang. His name was Price. I was thinking...
Well, it's not me.
I was like, because I'm thinking Price, and you said his last name. I was thinking his first name, and I was just like, Brittany, why would you assume that was his name?
I just thought of something. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, so.
Okay.
I'm going to text it to you. Hold on.
Okay. I have my iPad open. I can't wait to see it.
Okay. Pause for reaction. I'm sorry.
I am so glad you remembered that we were on a podcast and did not say that live.
People keep telling me I be forgetting I'm recording, and I do. I'm trying to remember, though.
Oh, my God.
Okay, but back to Chang. So, Jerry pulled him into this whole bullshit, ended up, getting him pieced up by Jessica real quick. And ever since he got beat up by a girl, he just cannot live it down.
He can't. He cannot let it go.
He cannot let that shit go. And Jerry Hogarth is tired. She like, I'm dying. This shit really don't.
I don't give a fuck anymore.
It don't matter at all. But even without her dying, I'm pretty sure she would have been like, listen, she beat your ass.
Let it
move
go.
On. Can we move on to something else? That was
and
2 days ago.
And you never gonna freaking like win. So just
no. And you can't win against somebody who genuinely do not care.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the thing that
he cared too much.
He cares too much, and was trying to tell her, like, you can't, like, it's no way to get to this bitch. She don't care about nothing. The only thing she care about is Trish.
Yep.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
she barely care about Malcolm.
Barely. So, I don't know. That storyline is continuing. I cannot remember, like, where it goes, but it had already ended up with somebody being dead in the back of a van.
And that's what he fucking get.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how, man, I'm sure obviously she's going to get let off of this, but it's just like, how you going to send somebody to her house and then he get killed and then be like, I don't know. I don't understand why. I'm sure it's probably just because it was a big ass dent in the, like several dents in the van, and the way that he was killed, it could have only been by somebody that was super strong. But it's like, is that your only evidence?
And
the fact that it's like in front of her apartment, but
you talking about as far as the police go?
Yes.
Oh yeah, remember? I feel like in Luke Cage, we was like, they just do zero police work now.
No, it's like there was absolutely no motive. Yeah. Besides the fact, but even if there was a motive, I'm sure it could have been qualified as some type of like self-defense, stand your ground type of thing. Mm-hmm. He was in her apartment. He was where he did not belong.
Yeah, he stole a bunch of shit out of her apartment. Like, I don't.
And you see that bloody ass scene, and then you see her walk up clean as a daisy.
Yeah.
And be like, Jessica Jones. Like, that.
Zero police work. They did the same thing in Luke Cage. I think, like, when Cottonmouth had died, and then they tried to fake the murder, and he was punching him. And it was just like, oh, it's a beat up dead body. Luke Cage must have done it. Wow.
But, and then I feel like in that episode when we talked about that, I was just like, CSI could literally disprove that so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, she's a fucking weirdo. She must have done it. Literally. They so racist against superhero people in the show.
It's just like, it was like mind-boggling to me that I was just like, how did she do it though?
Yeah. She
literally just drove up.
And she got an alibi.
And if she did it, and if she fucking did it, why would she go back there?
It don't make any sense.
She's a private eye, so she knows something as far as like the legal system goes.
Yeah.
And y'all think that she would be so stupid as to kill a man with her bare hands in front of her apartment and then show up to the scene of the crime? Confused as like, oh, what happened?
Stupid. It don't make any sense. I really wish that she would have just did one of those big ass leaps that she be doing since she refused to fly. I wish she would have just leaped her ass away.
Yes.
Leap back to the car.
Exactly.
Because this is wrong.
Yes. And then it's freaking Trish. We're not going to talk about
my
that.
God.
Stupid.
You know what? For somebody who was really upset about the paparazzi being called on her, why would you go and get your ass arrested?
Girl, because she was hyped up. She was hyped up on drugs.
You know what? Trish is kind of a Karen. Like, I kind of like her, but at the same time,
she is very insufferable.
Yeah. And she don't fucking listen.
Can we talk about how fine Malcolm is, though? Oof, sobriety looked good on him.
And he was taking bitches down, too. The whole...
Let me get a little bit of...
I love him. I love his character.
I do, too.
He really is the glue that's keeping everybody fucking life together. Quiet as it's kept. He's fixing up her apartment. He's working. He's doing his little Googles. He got him a little desk in the corner that nobody approved of. I peeped that. Look at your little workstation.
I know. Finding her clients and stuff like that. And then still dicking bitches down at the end of the day.
Yes.
Love
I can't be mad at him. He really is trying to turn Jessica's whole alias thing into like a legitimate business. She fighting him tooth and nail, but he is really trying. I appreciate that about him. That's a real friend. And that's the kind of friend that she need, because he got a thick skin and he is not being pushed away. Yeah, he's just like, girl, you need me.
He like, girl, bye. Here's your freaking appointments for today.
Yeah. And I think he genuinely like tries to care, even when like Trish had him in that bullshit recording that pervert dude. He was just like, wait a minute, that was like a big thing that just happened, and we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, like, don't put me in some shit, like, don't ask about it. No, we about to talk about this.
Yeah, like, can you imagine somebody saying like, hey, I need a favor, and you end up like finding out like their deepest, darkest secret.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And you're not allowed to talk about it. You can't tell nobody. Like, Trish stayed putting that man in the worst positions possible. And based off of what happened to him in the first season, I really hope that he just be okay this season.
I really want him to be okay at the end of this.
Yeah, because that's a lot. He's constantly...
It's a lot to take on.
Yeah, and he really is trying to bring his life back around, because he was not always a drug addict. He was a normal person with a job and a family. And
I think his dad was like a pastor or something.
Yeah, something like that. That's really sad. Did you like seeing Foggy again?
Yes.
I forgot to mention him when we brought up Jerry.
Yes, I did. I did enjoy that. I wish that they would have kept him in just a second longer. But
I wish
I'm sure we're gonna
just
see more of him.
Treated his fucking life real fast like that.
I know.
Like, wait a minute, we're not friends. Get the fuck out. Let me die miserable in peace by myself.
All right, asshole.
Oh, dude.
But it's so funny that the superintendent.
Oh yeah.
Is from Manifest, and I had been watching Manifest while I was watching this. I was just like, okay. While I was watching Manifest, I was like, oh, well, I wonder what else he's been in. And then I looked him up on Google, and it was like Jessica Jones, and I was like, I do not remember that man in Jessica Jones. I was like, oh, maybe he hasn't come up yet. And then literally, the first like 20 minutes of the episode he was in it, I was like, interesting.
I love how at the end, like this whole time, he been like worried about Jessica, bringing too much heat on him. And so after he found out that she did not try to throw his baby out the window, his stupid ass baby was climbing out the window, and she saved him, just like that damn boy in what's that show? What's the Kamala Khan show? Miss Marvel. Remember the selfie boy? Stupid ass. Kids are stupid. Anyway, so he comes, and Jessica whole ass is just like, oh, well, we drink and we fuck it. And he was like, don't you objectify me, woman. I'm going home.
And that was actually something that I wanted to talk about too, because like we've been talking about, like, all of these characters are like fighting for control in so many different types of ways. And I feel like with Jessica, one of the ways that she tries to take control is like through sex and like her sexuality and stuff like that too. Because even though she is, because like at one point too, like Trish is just like, yeah, you can't keep having sex with all these random people and all of this stuff. And it's just like, she's a consenting adult, so she can do whatever she wants to do. But I know that like a lot of people, instead of dealing with the things that are bothering them, or the things that, like, you know, their trauma and all their issues and all that stuff, they're like, I just want to feel good in the moment, so I'm gonna just have sex, or I'm gonna just keep drinking and all of that stuff. And it's just like, and they might feel good for like a half a second, like, you know, but then it's just like, but it still makes you feel like shit, because that person don't care about you, you don't even care about them, and you just like let them into your body. And it's just like,
it's very dirty coochie behavior.
Yes,
it's a lot of that happening. I understand, and then I feel like that's perfectly like illustrated.
Not to slut shame anybody, but
no, I will slut shame you if it's dirty coochie behavior, though.
Yes, but like, maybe think about why you're being so promiscuous. Is it because that's what you actually want, or are you trying to bury down all of your trauma with orgasms, quote unquote orgasms?
Hopefully. And that's the crazy thing about women, because half the time they don't even be knowing what they doing.
They don't.
And so you wasted your time, and then you didn't
and you got a body count for what?
For nothing. Like that whole,
when you could have just went to therapy,
or just went home and got your vibrator, because you might feel sad afterwards, but at least you got what you needed.
Yes.
Because that bathroom scene with that guy who insulted her, and then she was just like, well, I'm finna fuck you in the bathroom. And then it wasn't even good, and then she left. And I'm like, I know you probably feel really gross. Like, this guy was a piece of shit, and I thought that I was taking control by banging him in the bathroom stall, which, again, dirty coochie behaviors. And then it was not even good.
Yeah.
Like, the bathroom stall, Jessica.
I know. Like, your house
probably no condom.
I know. Yeah.
Ugh. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. I'm slut shaming you for that one. If nothing else, that one right there was gross. At least when she fucked Luke Cage on the first night, it was in a bed at his house.
Right. Very true.
And he wasn't like a dick to you immediately before that action. Like, come on.
We were rooting for you, Jessica.
We're all rooting for you.
And then she just like tries to get all like, oh, it's not normal because I'm like super powered. And he's like, no, it's not normal because I just met you and we were just hating each other at the beginning of the day. And now you want to like get in my pants. Like, girl, seek help.
Yes. Seek help. He is fine though, so I'm not mad at her for that.
Girl.
But everything he said was still true.
He's even more fine on Manifest because he all salt and peppered and a little thicker too.
Oh,
girl. He's fine.
You know, people
That's
be
fine, man.
So like hell bent on staying all like slim and trim, but you know, a little weight, it helped. A little weight look good on you. I was looking at old Facebook pictures of myself, and I was like, you know what? I was too skinny, I feel like. And I feel like I'm not like not skinny now, because I am. But I have like grown woman weight. I got weight in different places that I did not have before. And I feel like it makes me look better.
Even though I've had weight on me for the past few years, this post baby weight is completely different.
And then after you lose that, you'll look even differenter again.
I don't know, but these hips they got a mind of their own.
Yeah,
these is grown woman hips.
She got a whole solar system below her belly button now, y'all. It was a planet before, now it's a solar. It might be a galaxy. We don't know.
It's just too much. It's too much. I can't handle it. Sorrows and prayers.
So, okay, so the main plot is the only thing that we have not talked about. This whole IGH thing. So, we have found out that Jessica was an IGH experiment, and one of the other experiments is running around killing everybody. It killed Agent Simpson because he figured out that it was about to try to kill Trish because she was being too nosy and she was getting too close to the truth of what was going on. So he sacrificed himself in order to save them. And so Jessica, because of Trish and her reckless behavior, meets this woman face to face. They end up squaring up. She looked like she's super bitch too. And now I think we're just trying to figure out who she is. How does she get that way? And
Why were they saying that wig looked normal, like human hair? Because that wig was tragic.
When they said only 3 people in Manhattan could make a human hair wig like that, I was like,
y'all is a damn lie. Maybe for y'all color. Maybe for y'all palm people.
And that's unfortunate for y'all. But 3, not in 2018? Something like that. Yeah, when this stuff came out, no ma'am. But okay, sure.
Yeah, because that wig was tragic.
Girl, shit, when we went to prom, I wore a human hair lace front wig, and that was 2009. So.
Exactly. And I feel like I got wigs in storage totes that's uncovered that look better than that.
Man, the lace was lifted so terrible. The lace was rolled up.
She's like, I would have noticed that. I'm so surprised I didn't notice. Girl, Stevie Wonder noticed that was a wig.
Man, and it was a terrible wig. It looked like a nest on top of that lady.
It was so bad.
Oh my God. And then the lady in the damn wig shop had the nerve to be all bougie. $200 maybe for a synthetic.
Baby.
You know what? I'm not even going to say nothing. Let's just keep gatekeeping. Y'all have those problems. Go ahead. I don't know what to tell you.
But I tell y'all that y'all can find a good wig on TikTok.
They have good La Syntheticas on Amazon now. Okay? Mm-hmm. You heard it here first, folks. But so I feel like, it's only 13 episodes, so I don't remember how long they're going to drag this out. But it's mildly interesting that she's found another superpowered woman. But I'm having a good time, like, learning about this lady from other people. Like, when they went to that crack house and found that nurse, and she was telling them, like, the whole story, which it was crazy how Trish really was fucking up the lady who was trying to tell her full story. I pieced it together. But Trish was all trying to be, like, bad cop. Like, girl.
No, because she was hype as hell, girl. She was. She was just like.
She was ready to fight the lady, and the lady was clearly a victim.
Yes.
Clearly just sad and drug abused.
And Jessica's like, calm your ass down.
The lady, like the super lady, threw me into a fucking cabinet. I got tore up. Clearly she ended up on drugs, so she was probably addicted to painkillers first. Yep. And Trish, ex-crackhead ass, should have had more sympathy than anybody, because you used to be a drug addict too.
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like that was really interesting. But that's pretty much where we're at with these first 4 episodes of Jessica Jones. Let's move on to Secret Invasion and see if we can wrap this episode up in under 2 hours.
Right. Ooh.
So this is all very fresh in my mind because I watched it this morning at 5 a.m.
Me too. Well, it was like 6 a.m. after the baby went back to sleep.
I love that it started off with a man in a room with a bunch of pictures on the wall talking about a conspiracy theory.
Yes.
Loved
it.
And
I had took a picture. I don't even know. I might have deleted it. But it was just this one part like that I had paused on. And he was just like, it was like his wall was behind him. And he was just like pointing his finger. And he looks like that
Charlie Day meme.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
And I just loved it. But like the very first thing that I thought about, I was just like, the last time we saw Agent Ross, he was getting rescued by the Dora Milaje. And I'm like, this is a fake Ross. This isn't a real Ross. Like, I clocked it pretty immediately.
Yeah, especially when they was in that room by themselves. I was like, one of these 2 people is finna die, and I'm feeling like it's conspiracy theory, man. Sorry, Bucko, you finna go. And he
I know, and you gave all your information to this man.
Yeah, he figured it out, though, to his credit. It was a little bit too late. But
I know, and I'm wondering what point was it? I don't remember, like, what happened, but, like, at what point was he like, oh, yeah, this
I think it's when he tried to leave with the little tablet. He was like, oh, I'm gonna show this to somebody, and he was getting ready to leave.
Yes, he said he was gonna show it to Nick on Saber or something like that.
Yeah, and he was like, no, the fuck you not.
Right.
I don't know how he figured that out either, but he did.
I mean, you would think that you know that it's like a Skrull invasion, that you would be a little bit more precautious.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. to that man.
Especially since now we know that, okay, it's good Skrulls and it's bad Skrulls, but the bad Skrulls can like take your memories, which now, is not something that
they were able to do before.
Yeah.
That was actually, okay. It's funny how just life comes full circle, right? Because as you know, I was watching Man in the Iron Mask last night, and I was just thinking, this would be impossible to do just because, like, you interact with people on this, like, day-to-day basis. Like, if somebody that looked exactly like me tried to have a conversation with you, I feel like you would know almost immediately that it was not me, because we basically talk in inside jokes. You literally know? So I'm like,
it's amazing that anybody can even follow this podcast, honestly, but continue.
So it's just like, it's just so funny that, you know, that was like the whole plot of the movie. They're like, oh, basically the king's twin, we just gonna kind of switch them. Just gonna do a little switcheroo, a little parent trap. Right. It's basically the plot of that movie. And I was just like, that would not work. And then, you know, it's funny that that's what, like, in the very first time we saw Skrulls in Captain Marvel, they weren't able to take somebody's memory. They could only take them, their entire DNA matched. They, you know, could look exactly like them, but that was it. Yeah. But now they have a way to take that person's memories too. Yeah. What? Oh, and in another part of the intersectionality of my life, Nick Fury sits on a chair and he's like, oh, it's like a Louis XIV chair. And that's who Leonardo DiCaprio played in Man in the Iron Mask. And you've been talking about Jack Dawson this whole podcast.
It's like 6 degrees of separation or something. I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah. I know. It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Seriously.
Yeah. I feel like, granted, like we said, we are not comic book people, so I don't know if they can do that in the comic books, but narratively speaking, they had to do something like that, because otherwise, like, you would immediately know who was a Skrull and who wasn't, and people would be trying to fucking stab the Skrulls on the street. Yeah. Chaos.
This show has like a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't understand that.
Well, I think some people got like episodes early.
Yeah, so they were able to see. Yeah, but I still, like, just based off of this one episode, that is so low. Because I feel like this is probably like the best first episode that we've gotten of maybe every show, all the shows.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't watched any of them again, but I immediately was like, this is good.
I was hooked. Yeah. From like that first scene. Yeah. Like, you got me.
It was not bad at all.
It is like boots on the ground, spy shit, like Bourne Identity with like freaking aliens.
Then you get a little buddy cop too.
And then you get the buddy cop duo.
Yeah.
Like and then with them Samuel Jackson.
With them cracking jokes like, do you got some more of these fucking chairs in the other room? Dead. Fucking funny. Then he fighting and he like, no, I got it, don't do it. And Sam Jackson looking like, are you sure?
Girl. And then everybody like, Samuel Jackson like, I'm gonna walk around. They like, you gonna walk around Moscow? There was so many black jokes in this episode.
Man, they was dogging my boy like,
he called himself a spook.
Your old black ass, you washed. They was roasting him. Every person he talked to was roasting him, to the point at the end of the episode, I'm like, damn, dude, he got it?
I think he does.
I know he Nick Fury, but nobody seems to think he do.
The reason why I think that he did intentionally get taken by that woman, by her people, was because he bugged her place. Right. So that I could believe, but then it's like, I feel like the old Nick Fury would have caught the trap at the very end when they were in that like festival thing, and everybody ended up getting blown up. Yeah. R.I.P. to Agent Hill. Man, I knew that she wasn't long for the world. Yeah, she wasn't in the credits, and that could have been to like, oh, surprise. But her and Martin Freeman both were not in the credits. And I don't know. I just felt like
I knew somebody
wrong.
was gonna die. I didn't know who it was gonna be. Obviously, I knew it wasn't gonna be Nick Fury in the first episode, but
we also see a clip of him in the trailer for Miss Marvel, or for the Marvels.
That too.
It could be a Skrull.
Maybe. We don't know. I'm surprised that he wasn't, like, somebody wasn't being him on Earth anymore.
Again?
Yeah. But I don't know. Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something about her dying.
You knew somebody was gonna die.
Yeah, I knew somebody was gonna die. I didn't know if it was gonna be her. I kind of thought it might have been Talos. I mean, he still could die at some point. But I was real sad to see her go. Oh, I was gonna say that it seemed like most of the episode was just about Talos and Nick Fury. And so, like, buddy cop is just usually the two buddies. So she was either going to be pushed to the side or she was going to be killed. Right. So it makes sense. But I was real sad to see her go. She always been a real ass bitch. And
facts. And it was really cool seeing Rhodey again. He probably like the Secretary of Defense or something like that. And I'm really interested to see where his character goes because Rhodey, you know.
Yeah, Rhodes. We want to see what he really about. I don't know. I feel like since watching everything and like hearing other people's commentary about Rhodey and looking back, my ideas about him have changed a little bit.
But I feel like we've always kind of had this
kind of
idea of the type of man, the type of black man specifically that Rhodey is. And allegedly that is going to come into play in this show. And I'm really looking forward to that just because
it will be interesting if they do add more of a racial element to this. Because when they, like the Skrulls were saying that home in my own skin, of course I was like, think about black people.
Right.
Yeah, so, sorry, like I was saying, when they said they little home in my own skin, I was just like, ooh, this is going to get racial. But we don't know.
And honestly, I feel like just the Skrulls in general kind of feel like a subcontext for like race because they've had to assimilate for the past 30 years because they don't have their own place in society or in the universe or whatever, so they've had to like assimilate and fake fake themselves and kind of put on their white face or their human face or whatever. They got a code switch when they out in in the world and everything, and then so it'll be interesting.
I'm sure it's also going to bring up some, like, issues with, like, trans identities and stuff like that, too. Like, it's always going to be a deeper level. I know, like, some people will not want to see or hear about any of that, but, I mean, of course, like, all of this shit, like, even the mutants was about something that it wasn't about. Like, all superheroes are about something else.
It's not just about people swinging their shields and hammers. It definitely all has a deeper meaning.
Exactly. So I was excited to see Dermot Mulroney as the president. I was like, ooh, watch out, Kennedy. You're not the finest president no more.
I was like, damn, like, what is that man from? And then I was like, My Best Friend's Wedding. He was Fancy Man in New Girl, for all the New Girl fans. Like, he dated Zooey Deschanel's character. He's like this rich man, and like her roommate was like obsessed with him because he just smelled like money.
They called him Fancy Man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I can't remember. I think his name was like Richard or something like that. But yeah, Fancy Man. But yeah, I was like, oh, is he a Skrull? Is Rhodey a Skrull? Who's the Skrulls?
So many Skrulls. Oh my God. I think like the most unnerving part about the Skrulls is the whole like invasion of the body snatchers thing. Like they fucking kidnapping people and like putting them in a pod and they just pod people now. That is scary. But I feel like if as humans and stuff, like if we weren't just so inherently like evil and racist and all that, they probably could help us in some way because they live in abandoned like nuclear factories and stuff because they aren't as affected by the radioactive whatever. Right. So, and it's a lot of those in Russia. So it seemed like it's a lot of places for them to just be like, and I know like people would get into the whole politics of everything like, oh, taxes and blase, but I feel like that shit could be figured out and it probably could work. Especially
they figure out taxes or lack thereof when it comes to other things. So
right, but then it'll be that whole thing of like, oh, well, they're superpower, and then like Russia, we trying to get them in the fucking army, and then they fucking soldiers gonna beat everybody else ass. I don't know. It'll be a whole thing, but I feel like it could work out without nuclear war and the extinction of the human race. I feel like it could be fixed before we got to that point, but that's just me.
You would think so, but it's also been like 30 years.
Oh, has it been 30 years?
Since Captain Marvel?
Since Captain Marvel.
It's been over 30 years.
Yeah. Damn.
It's been quite a long time for them to try and figure this out.
It's terrible just that as a society, it's number one, it's terrible that in this fictional planet Earth, we can just never figure out where to fucking put people. Like, we can never figure out a problem. The same thing happened after the blip with the whole Winter Soldier show.
This feels like the same thing.
Yes. But it's also sad that it's so believable because, of course, we would not be able to come together and solve a problem. Of course, it's going to lead to war.
No.
Of course, it will. Of course,
that's the only way that humans know how to solve problems is through warfare.
And then it's just like the Skrulls been here for 30 years, picked up on that very quickly and was like, okay, we just gonna use it to our advantage. I can't be mad at y'all because that's fucking genius. And it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Probably.
Honestly, that's...
They're
like, you know
sad.
what? The system ain't working for us, so we just gonna work the system.
Yeah, it's shameful. Like, as a human, I'm embarrassed.
And the fact that, like, in 30 years, they've been able to infiltrate everything.
Yeah.
You should be embarrassed.
Yeah, it's very fucking embarrassing. So, I don't know. I like the first episode. I like that.
I enjoyed it.
Gaia, the little baby that we saw, she is in the Resistance as the Queen of Dragons.
Emilia Clarke. Her eyebrows was working overtime, baby.
Always.
Love that. Love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, I had wrote Maria Hill finna get body snatched. I wish she had gotten body snatched instead of killed, but whatever. What was one more thing I was gonna say? Oh, I thought it was really funny that Talos was like, "Oh, it's about time for your midlife." Or what was your midlife crisis? And he said the Avengers. Wow.
That was really funny.
Yeah. It's been a funny show without it being like too jokey.
Yes.
That it fits in with the tone. Like the comedy fits in with the tone.
And it's like a dark humor kind of.
Yeah. Cuz I feel like especially
that Cold War joke. He was like, "How do you think we got the Cold War from going hot?" He's like a couple spooks buying rounds at the bar.
Yeah.
And like I said, they kept saying like, "Oh, it's a big black man walking around Moscow."
Fucking ridiculous.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was funny. I thought we got a lot of like information in this first episode that we didn't know, like with the Skrulls, how they like are actually sustaining this, where they've been living, the fact that the longer they stay in like their human form, the harder it is for people to identify them as a Skrull. It was a lot. It was a lot of good information.
I'd like a little bit more information on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's interesting. I'm like, okay, so what's the difference?
Yeah. It has to be something because when Talos saw old boy, like he immediately knew it's a fucking Skrull.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was the first episode, and we'll be back talking about that next week.
Yes.
So we have 6 more minutes to make this 2 hours. Should we just talk about what we've been watching, or my Beyonce concert my outfit is here, so I'm very excited about that. I cannot wait to try it on.
I can't wait to see it.
I haven't been watching nothing. I've been rewatching Supernatural just because, with shows like that, I just wait until it's been long enough since my last rewatch that I've like slightly forgotten the plot. So sometimes the episodes will be like, oh, I don't remember what's going to happen in this one. It's exciting.
Oh, well, by that logic, it seems like I might be up for a Gossip Girl rewatch.
See, you might be.
I just rewatched season 1 and 2 of Bridgerton. I had been watching Succession, but that show is now done, and they did a phenomenal job with ending it. We were watching Manifest, and let me just tell you, when Netflix got their hands on it, it just got increasingly worse.
Oh man.
Because it was that whole thing of like people were protesting basically.
What was it on before?
It's, NBC.
Oh, okay.
And it was good for a network drama, But it just seems like, and then it got canceled with good reason. Honestly, it was a good show, but it just didn't seem like it was going anywhere. And then Netflix picked it up in order to close it out, and it was just so goofy. Like, I don't know, like we would be watching it, we'd be like, we just look at each other. We just be like, that was so stupid. I don't know. Like the very last episode, the way that they finished it, it was like, okay, that was fine. I'll allow it. Like, that was fine. But like the entire of getting to that point,
yeah,
I was like, this shit is so goofy, but I have to see it through. Got to see it through, my boy.
Man, we were watching the Titans on HBO or on Max, and it got so bad. Like, it was never like a great show, and I like bad things.
Yeah.
This one, me and Prince, like, we never even finished the last season. We was just, I think we're done. I think we've had enough. I think we tortured ourselves enough. Because, like, we love superhero content, but it was so dumb.
Oh, dang.
Like, to the point where you're talking to the TV, you're not even watching. You're just like, well, why don't y'all just have, because Superboy is on there. He's Superman. He could do everything. And they nerf him in every situation. And it's just like, it's obvious at this point. Like, just write them off.
Right. Ugh. Okay, there's one thing that we do watch, and it has nothing to do with TV. It's just, I watch Twitch streams on a video game that I do not play, but it's just so interesting. And I just, we'll just sit and watch Twitch streams for, like, hours.
You just be watching people play video games?
Yeah, but, like, this one guy, sometimes he doesn't play video games. Sometimes he, like, plays these videos on YouTube, and he'll just, like, watch with us. And, like, he's reacting to it, but his Twitch, like, the chat are, like, reacting to it, too. So it's, like, interactive. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of fun.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of how my kids watch other kids play with toys on YouTube instead of playing with their own goddamn toys.
But they're like, he's like really good. Like the Twitch streams that we play, they're like the best players in the country. So it's like,
yeah, they be having whole setups and sound effects and stuff.
Yes, like I've played this game and I am not good at it. Like, I am not good at this game. Actually, I'm getting better. But it's just so much fun to watch other people play and see how good they are. Because I'm like, dang, like, this takes some type of skill. And then, like, if they're funny, then it's basically like listening to a podcast or watching a podcast on YouTube. Wow. But he's just talking to himself.
Well, I'm happy that the podcast is back because you need something else to do for some of those hours.
Well, sometimes it just be on in the background, like, and I'll just like be washing dishes, and I'll just be watching it because it's on. I don't ever put it on. It'll be on, and I am consuming it because I am in the vicinity
via osmosis.
And then I just sit there and watch it.
Oh my god. Well, we are.
I need to watch Black Mirror. That's what I need to do.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Okay, I got 25 seconds to wrap this up. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We are the Southside of Wakanda podcast, and this was our Jessica Jones Season 2, Episode 1 through 4, and Secret Invasion discussion. Join us next week. We're going to be talking about Jessica Jones Episodes 5 through 8, And the next episode of Secret Invasion, you guys can follow us at Southside of Wakanda at, on TikTok. And damn, I didn't make it. On TikTok, Instagram. And if you want to email us at southsideofwakanda@gmail.com.
And follow us on YouTube.
Yes, and on YouTube.
And watch
like
us.
and subscribe.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Southside.